I'm sorry, honey, I don't know what to tell you. He's just not here. You know that I can't leave. Oh, I'm sorry, honey, I gotta go, the movie's over. All right, I'll call you in a bit. Well, as you can see, I did manage to scrounge up a few decorations. Now, granted, they are not as cool as the ones that Death would have had, but this is really all I could come up with at the last minute. You know, after I got the decorations up, I looked up more information on the killer Shrews. Listen to this. It says here that Ray Kellogg, the film's director, spent most of his career working on special photographic effects for films. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I can guarantee you that it has nothing to do with creating realistic Halloween masks for dogs. Or realistic-looking killer shrew puppets. You know, there's something that's just been bugging me. James Best looks really, really familiar to me. Let's see what he's been in. Man, I just love IMDb. Okay, James Best. Here we are. Oh, wow. He was Roscoe P. Coltrane on the Dukes of Hazzard. Man, I used to love that show. And you know, back when I was a kid, I went to a convention and the General Lee was there. Come to think of it, so was James Best. Hey, I met the guy. I'd forgotten about that. Now, what about Ingrid Goody? Gouda? Goud? Well, let's see here. Wow. She won the Miss Sweden beauty pageant in 1956, and she was the second runner-up in the 1956 Miss Universe pageant. And she was the first runner-up in the 1956 Miss Europe pageant. I guess 56 was a banner year for the sultry Swede. The second film that Death was going to show you is a really chilling one called The Screaming Skull. Now let's see, what does the intraweb say about this one? Oh, Alex Nichol not only directed it, but he plays the role of Mickey. And it says here that he was tired of always playing supporting roles in westerns, like the classic The Man from Laramie, and action films like Three Came Back. And he wanted to try his hand at something new and presumably give himself a leading role. All right, you can't blame the guy. So let's see. Is Mickey the leading role? Nope. He's the fifth one listed. Let's see where he ranks in the Man from Laramie cast. Fifth one listed. And how about Three Came Back? He's listed third. Let me see if I get this straight. He wanted better parts in movies, more screen time, if you will, so he directs The Screaming Skull, casts himself in it, and he forgets to give himself the lead role. Or the second, or the third, or the fourth leading role. And he ends up as the fifth credited actor, a full 2 spots back from the third lead credit in the movie, which prompted him to get better roles in the first place. Something's not right with the math here. Apparently, math isn't the only thing wrong with this movie. Most critics give the film 1 to 2 stars if they're feeling generous. One of the film's stars, it says here, Peggy Weber, said that the film didn't impress her and that she wanted to throw up after watching it. And Bill Corbett, who gave voice to Crow T. Robot in the later years of Mystery Science Theater 3000, said of the film, "Making someone watch this even once is specifically outlawed by the Geneva Convention." But Nichol looks like he has a positive view. Here he's quoted as saying, "I liked it. It has some nice dolly shots, a good atmosphere, so I was happy with that. It was a nice change from the films I'd been doing." He'd been doing high-quality films with James Stewart, so yeah, I guess that The Screaming Skull would be a change from the films that he'd been doing. A nice one, though? Get your popcorn and your soda, make note of the nearest emergency exit, and switch off your cell phone or pager. Public Domain Theater is proud to present John Hudson, Peggy Weber, Russ Conway, Tony Johnson, and, finally, Alex Nichol, starring in The Screaming Skull. Just wait until death gets here. I'm gonna be the guy screaming at the skull. Let's see. Newble, John Newble. All right, I just got to make a quick phone call. I got to call one of the producers of The Screaming Skull about the free burial arrangement that was offered at the beginning of the film. Here we go. Nope, it's ringing.
Hello?
Hi, my name is Paul Fish. I'm the host of Public Domain Theater. I'm trying to reach John Newble.
Speaking.
Movie producer John Newble?
The very same.
Oh, great. I'm calling to inquire about the free burial arrangements that you offered at the beginning of the film, The Screaming Skull.
Is this some kind of sick Halloween joke?
No, I'm totally serious. At the beginning of The Screaming Skull, the voiceover guy says that the producers will offer free burial services to anyone who dies of fright.
What?
Oh, okay. Look, turn on your TV, flip around to the stations until you find the guy that's sitting down wearing a Superman muscle shirt and a red cape.
Okay, I see you. That's not a real cape, though. It's just a red tablecloth draped over your shoulders.
I know. It was a last-minute Halloween costume. I'm not even supposed to be here today. Now, just watch this. Brian, can you play the beginning again?
The Screaming Skull is a motion picture that reaches its climax in shocking horror. Its impact is so terrifying that it may have an unforeseen effect. It may kill you. Therefore, its producers feel they must assure free burial services to anyone who dies of fright while seeing The Screaming Skull.
So, can you help me?
I guess I'm gonna. Man, I'd kill Alex Nickel if he wasn't already dead. Alright, what's the name of the deceased?
My name is Paul Fish.
No, the deceased. The person who died.
Yeah, that'd be me.
You're clearly not dead.
Part of my soul is.
The narration clearly stipulates that you must be dead. Entirely dead. 100% dead. Not just part of your soul.
So you can't help me out?
Sorry, Mr. Fish. Watch the film again. And if you die, give me a call and I'll take care of everything.
All right. Fair enough. Thank you for your help. Good night.
Good night.
So what movie is next? Nightmare Castle? You know what a nightmare is? Dealing with the guy who promises he's going to do something like, guest host a Halloween Scare-A-Thon for you so you can enjoy some time at home with your wife, and then pull a no-show. I pulled a teeny, tiny little prank on him last year, and I feel bad about it. So bad, I even baked him his favorite friggin' cake. I didn't even bring up the fact that 2 years ago, he tied me up and took over the show. Brian, can you play that clip?
You chose these movies. Just worry about yourself. If this next movie is anything like the last one, you'll die of boredom. Oh man, I cracked myself up. Did you get it?
You see what I'm dealing with here? Unprofessional. You know what? I'm not even going to look up anything on this movie. I'm done. If this movie is as bad as I think it is, don't blame me. Blame the guy who's supposed to be here. Blame death. Get your popcorn and your soda, make note of the nearest emergency exit, and switch off your cell phone or pager. Public Domain Theater is proud to present Barbara Steele and Paul Miller starring in Nightmare Castle.